At long flipping last, after 3,000 years, Chelsea finally have a dude between the sticks who can actually make a save. Because I swear and I promise you, Kepa Brikabalaga, a scholar, potential wing owner in the Brick Academy, would have allowed in at least one or two of those shots that Rashford put in 100%. Kepa plays, Chelsea are losing that game, guaranteed. So for Mendy, we salute you. Edward, we salute you. Thank you for finally giving Chelsea a guy who knows how to keep. The Clasico was quite a good game. This game might be classy. We'll get into it, but yes, it's a clean sheet for Chelsea, but it seems as if both teams cancelled each other out and nobody was actually interested in actually trying to win this flipping damn game, man. Let's ride.
Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H.
Okay, so you say so that why? Okay, change a formation. Here's my thing, because you can look at this thing in two ways. I feel that Chelsea are better defensively with this formation. And you know what? Do you know what I believe? Because Lampard isn't very good defensively and is not a good defensive coach, I believe this formation is what Chelsea should use going forward for Lampard. I still feel with the players that they have and so forth, 4-2-3-1 is the best formation, but I think based for Lampard, based on how defensively things are iffy, this is a formation that I think that he should use. But the issue is this. Get a formation, stick to it. Because you can see how this is good defensively, and United would have been there all day, all night. They would have never have scored. Unless Kepa was in goal, they never would have scored. I think Thiago Silva was a beast, and literally it was thou shalt not pass. It was almost an impenetrable wall that Chelsea put forth for Man United. But my thing though is Chelsea didn't have an attack. Yes, they had a few chances here and there and a few breakaways, but you can see that they are not used to this formation. Therefore, they're not used to now working in the transition of how do we now attack with less players and less options in the attacking phase. Because you need to be trained in this kind of formation. So, in that sense, you're like, so which is why and so for Lampard, you have to choose. Either it's 4-2-3-1 or it's 3-4-3. If it was me, because we know how much goals you've conceded, stick to this formation. Focus on this formation and then move forward. But the issue is this, and that's why, it's something to think about. You stick to this formation. Kai Havertz is ineffective, but Kai Havertz's most effective position is in the number 10. This formation doesn't have the space for a number 10. So you're like, okay, what the heck is going on there? So if you're playing this, will Ziyech be most effective? Can Havertz be most effective? I don't know. But then you say to myself, because I felt that go with 4-3-1, but then if they're going 4-3-1, do Chelsea lose this game? Because do they now concede even more chances and more opportunities to Man United? But for me, I still feel to myself that did you need to change the formation against United? I understand changing it for Bayern Munich, changing it for PSG and so forth, but you need to change it for Man United because Chelsea, I think you're showing United and Solskjaer far too much respect. Change the formation for them. That's there. Gollum. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't fully fit. I think Cavani should have started this game. Because I don't even know who. So before Cavani came on, who was the striker for United? Like I didn't even know who the striker was. So I was like, who's the striker? Who's the guy striking? I didn't really have an idea there. But you saw when Cavani came on, homeboy almost G'd up. But I just think for United, because Chelsea copied the formation and they cancelled each other. For United, I didn't know where the goal was going to come from because it's like, Mata, he's just not his best. Bruno Fernandes, you're not really playing. That's your strong number 10 attacking midfield position. there really wasn't really a clear focal point striker until Cavani came on. So I'm like, what's this? So for United, it just seemed as if, because remember, when you played PSG are going to come out for you and they're going to attack. PSG are always going to attack. There's no way that PSG are going to defend. But Chelsea now being a full defensive team, and this is football 101, football 101 for all of you guys out there. If you're going up against a full-on defensive team, you have to have a clear striker. Which is why it's, because I saw some guys saying on Twitter, it would have made sense that for Lampard, the change you make is zero. You see, Timo Werner in this game, nah. Because based on what United's formation was, and them playing through the back, this was the wrong formation to go with. You had to go with a clear striker, so you have somebody to play off of. So a Tammy or a Werner was not going to work, and he just saw that Chelsea, like that's why it essentially was a breaker game. This game was essentially a break game because what you saw were just defense against the defense. That no attack was popping off. Yes, you had shot on targets, but how many clear-cut opportunities did they have? How many clear chances did they have? Because United, obviously, because again, Solskjaer didn't know what Lampard was going to do. But once Lampard did that, Solskjaer was like, all right, you've done that. Okay, fine. But there was no kind of answer or response to the kind of setup that he had. But look, Lampard or someone, I hope someone, I want like a mole. I want it to be a mole in a Chelsea camp. What is wrong with Hudson-Odoi? Just tell us. Did he slap you in the face? Did he try to fondle your earlobe or something? Did he try to kiss you? What did Hudson-Odoi do? Tell me what he did. Did he call you flabby? Did he call you chubby? Did he call you Teletubby? What did Hudson-Odoi do? Because we need to know. He's not in the squad. Just tell us. Just let us know. Is he injured? Is he carrying an injury? Is he unfit? Because I already said for Hudson-Odoi that, bro, you should have gone to Bayern Munich. You know, like there's a club and a team that clearly wants you. You have to realize that this Chelsea people, whether it was Sarri or Lampard, they don't want you. Because my thing is yes, it was a clean sheet. Yes, Chelsea looked much better defensively. But you see, this would have been a formation that would have made sense against like a Liverpool or a Bayern or so forth. Playing this formation against Manchester United, was that necessary? Was it really necessary to play this formation against Man United? Because before Cavani came on, the only threat was Rashford. That's the only runner that you're going to have. And surely, between Thiago Silva and Zuma, you should be able to cope with that. So, because the 4-2-3-1 means that you're getting the best out of Havertz, you're putting him in as a number 10, and if Ziyech comes in, you're definitely getting the best out of him as well. So, I just feel that because you're sacrificing the attack. The defense looks good, but the key to football is a balance. You have to balance between trying to restrict people scoring, but you've also got to score as well, because the name of the game is scoring. You don't win by just not conceding. You win by scoring more than the opposition. And for me, I just didn't know where the flipping goal was going to come from with regards to Chelsea in this game. So, I mean, look, all in all, like the game as a whole, it was a stalemate. Like I told you at halftime, I was like, bro, nobody is scoring in this game. Nobody is sniffing a goal in this game. Nobody's going to score a flipping goal in this game. This is going to be a full-on stalemate. You know, so, and lo and behold, it was, because I was like, there is no kind of individual with any kind of individual magic who can really try and do something imaginative in this game to try and change it, because there isn't a Messi, an Isco, a Neymar, or a Hazard on the pitch to be like, oh, wow, get past 1 to 3 guys and create something. So I just knew that based on the players that were on this pitch, nobody's scoring. But Edouard Mendy, please, finally, because that guy was man of the match. I don't give a damn who to give it to. That guy was man of the match because no outfield player stood out. Bro, it was 0-0. There was no outstanding outfield player. I mean, Thiago Silva was money, and he had an amazing block on, I think, Cavani, because obviously he knows him. But Mendy, man, those were two big saves because that first save, 1v1, Kepa doesn't save that. Kepa doesn't, because see, Kepa is special. See, Kepa is a new kind of keeper because Kepa, he saves 10 years after you shoot. So he's evolved the kind of thesis and theorem of what it means to keep it. So it's like, so Kepa's like, no. I'm going to jump up and save it 3,000 years after you shoot. But that one, and see, the second one, because that was a well taken shots by Rashford, that was a nice whip. And you really saw Mendy go in there, boom, full on, both hands, palmed away to the corner, sweet as 3 knots. So it is just so good having a dude who knows how to be a keeper. See, my only worry now is that I don't think he's that good of like a penalty kick stopper, but who cares? That's here, not there. The key thing is within the context of a game. His confidence, he's composed. The only wrong thing that he did was he was evoking his inner check when he almost kicked the ball into his own net. But apart from that, my God, like it calms the defense. It breeds confidence in the defense when you just have a dude who can just stay inside between those sticks and be money. It is so key and it is so comforting. But the danger now is that if he now gets injured, screwed. Because it's a similar situation to like Liverpool, where for Liverpool, if Alisson gets bricked up, you now have to look at Adrian, who looks a bit iffy. But for me, I'm taking an Adrian over a Kepa or a Caballero. So just to round this off, so Pogba. So is Pogba now a squad player? I just want to be sure. Is Pogba now a squad player? Like, is that where we're at right now? So he's now a full-on squad player. Like, he is no longer a first-team player. This guy was a World Cup winner. Because United fans have just said, no, yeah, he's a homeboy is a squad player. Deal with it. I'm like, wow. Like, that's deep. That is deep. That this dude right now is now a full-on squad player, like where you can go ahead and have a game like this against Chelsea and Pogba is warming the bench. But the reality is this, and the real thing is this. I can't argue with it. It is disrespectful. It is rude. And it does show a serious fall from grace. But can you really argue? You can't really argue with it because what has he done? So look, man, all in all, man, I would have liked to see what Chelsea would have done with 4-2-3-1 in this game. Because yes, it's meant that the defense would be susceptible, but I feel that against an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer Man United, you didn't need to play this formation. And I would have liked to see the chances Chelsea would have created and the problems that they could have issued if they went with a 4-2-3-1 formation. And from United's point of view, I think they should have started Cavani. And I think that Solskjaer should have seen in the game that, bro, whatever formation you have, you're not breaching the way that Chelsea have been set up. And the only way that you're going to breach or try and get some cheddar is you need a striking presence in there. And for most, until Cavani came on, you didn't have a striker's presence in there. So United were just passing it like ringer, roses. Because I was like, as I was watching, I was like, bro, you're not scoring. You may get a lucky break like Rashford did when you obviously caught Chelsea in the overload. But apart from that, like literally, United's best chances, like clear chances, was the Rashford 1v1 and Rashford towards the end, because the Cavani one was like a half chance from the corner kick. So, and I think that's just where Solskjaer has to look at it, make those right adjustments, but like, all right, this is not working. Let me readjust, man. So, but it's sort of, I think with Lampard, it is a step forward. It's like a step forward, but a step sideways. It's a step forward because the defense looks better now. You're like Thiago Silva and Mendy have greatly improved this defense. And for those guys saying Zuma is trash, look at how secure Zuma looks next to Thiago Silva. Look at how secure Zuma looks if you now actually have a right structure and a right setup. But for me, is you have to have the right balance. So you have to know and balance the defense and the attacks. Okay, so this is also what the defense looks like, and this is what the attack is going to look like, and you have to be able to balance both, because if you don't balance both, then you're screwed. If you don't balance both, then you're screwed. Then there's no point in even going forth, man. But look, this was El Saco that was done. But all I'm saying is that Edouard Mendy, man, it's just so relieving to have a guy who knows how to flip and keep. So relieving to know having a guy who knows how to flip and keep. But also Kovacic as well. It's like, is he injured or not? Thinking because for me, Kovacic is like, if everybody is fit, Kovacic and Kante should always be the midfielder too. So I don't know whether Kovacic was unavailable, because if he was available, that's a guy that has to play. But definitely want to know what's happening with Hudson-Odoi. But with United, man, yeah, like, is Pogba now a squad player? Because if Pogba is now a squad player, where he was heralded as one of the best players in his position, that's scary. That is frightening. But as frightening as it is, and as totally disrespectful it is to a World Cup winner and to a guy called Labil, Pogba, you have been playing like a guy from the road. So what can you really say? All right, let's take in some questions then, guys. Remember to drop that like, man. Remember to drop the like. Remember to subscribe and drop that like. Remember to subscribe and drop the like. Let me even share. We're going to try and bring Red Devil into this, man. And even Abdullahi, man. Let me just bring in the boys. Let me bring in the boys. All right, let me let me bring in the boys. All right, there you go. Okay. So I've sent the link, man. Red Devil, Abdullahi, if you're out there, I've sent the link. HH, Freeman Boy ZH. Look, the only explanation is that he's not match fit. That's the only explanation, because it's like, but my thing is that you say he's not a match fit. What is he going to do in 10 minutes? That's what I want to know. What is he potentially going to do in 10 minutes?
Yo, HH. How you doing, bro?
Yo, bro.
Man, like, I won't lie, man. Like, I'm proud of that team. It's fantastic play, fantastic. Yeah, I am proud, because the level of in which we concede goals, I can't believe it. Like, I never expected Lampard to play.
No. Because remember, you were saying 4-3-1. So you're happy with that formation and
yeah,
that setup?
And you were right. Because you said the back three. You were very.
I said a back three.
No. It was Red Devil said it. Red Devil. Because Red Devil said he would match up with Ole.
The man of the match was Edouard Mendy. That guy saved. My Lord in heaven. That Rashford save. If it was Arida Balaga.
Oh no, that's a goal.
Even in the first half, he saved twice. One from Bruno Fernandes and one from Rashford in the first half.
No. Mendy was man of the match, man.
Damn.
Mendy was man of the match.
My hands up, man. Hands up. No.
That was a terrible game. It was just trash. I'm actually listening to Patrice Evra and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank arguing on Sky Sports about just how bad the game was, and Evra
was bad.
A massive rant about just, and Evra's right, because he's like, essentially what Evra's saying is like, I need to give a crap if we lose. I want to see good attacking football and see United. What his point is,
the game was bad, man. It was a bad game. It was a bad game.
Chelsea.
I think the mistake Lampard made was when he wanted to make his substitution. I was expecting Olivier Giroud, not Tammy Abraham. Not.
No, that's not. No. I wouldn't even say even the way that both teams played, both players. But it looked like these managers are playing because both managers were concerned about their jobs.
Exactly.
That's what this game looked like.
No. And I think that was the biggest issue, is that both teams didn't want to lose.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to win.
Exactly.
People are like, no, our first thing is we don't want to lose. So nobody was actually going out to try to win the game. Because, my thing is that, because when he said, Lampard is going to try and match thing, I'm like saying that, and I said that, look, why would you change your formation for United? Change your formation for Liverpool, Bayern, PSG, but why change it for United?
Made a mistake. The mistake he made is it was going to back thing. I understand, but if I'm going to back, I said it yesterday. If you want to play back three, don't play Kai Havertz. It doesn't fit into back three. It does not.
Kai Havertz was ineffective.
No, Kai Havertz was
because it's ineffective. If you want to play back three, you need to play Olivier Giroud and Timo Werner play them together. That it works in back three because Olivier Giroud can hold on to the ball.
There we go. No.
Bro, wait, Abdullah, though, Lampard did listen to you. Said use brain, drop mounts. Use brain.
Use your brain. Use sense.
He listened to you, Abdullah.
He listened, man. He listened.
Val did play,
Because I was angry because look at those matches we've been playing. You've been playing this guy he's ineffective in that wing. Play the other player today. I was not expecting the back three, but when I saw that, I was like, What's Lampard doing? He wants to go defensive. Wow. You don't do this. I was expecting a 4-3-3, but what's like?
I mean,
what's Lampard doing?
the only thing I would say is that, like, you know, United obviously play. We set up in a 4-2-3-1. So Chelsea are playing a back three. United are playing two holding midfielders in Fred McTominay. So already the game is set for being quite defensive. And if I was a Chelsea fan, because obviously there's positive things taken as grain, but the only thing I say as a Chelsea fan is that, like, this is pretty much Chelsea's best 11, bar Ziyech, that's playing on the field.
Yeah.
And they only had one shot on goal on target in 90 minutes.
Exactly. So that's my worry.
So as a United fan, I'm like, okay, it was trash, but we obviously have players. I don't know why they're not playing, and that's on Ole, but we do have players on the bench in Pogba and Van der Beek. Cavani actually played okay.
I think Cavani should have started that match.
Yeah.
That guy's looking
No. See, because this is what I was saying before. Because I was saying that, before we get there, it's actually because I actually saw the
wait,
because a British report thing actually say, so this is from British reports. Video referee looked at a Man United captain's first half challenge on Azpilicueta and decided not to give a penalty. Now, Red Devil, can you?
The VR doesn't look at it. The VR doesn't check. The VR did not go.
So VAR checked it, didn't they?
No, they did not.
No, they did. They checked it. That's what
They checked. No. I'm reading you a report from Bleacher Reports right now. They said they checked it, and they decided not to give a penalty.
Why?
Yeah.
That's no. They see for me.
That's
madness.
Norwegian juju. I don't know. That's the only.
That's stupid because that was a clear penalty.
No. Like because okay, we looked at the earlier one where like Longley just grabbed thingy's shirt, which is it. Maguire had his arm around Azpilicueta's neck.
Yeah.
How do you see? This just shows that this is just English bias. That this is like Maguire mental health and all that crap. Because you're like, how do you view a guy putting his arm around someone's neck and that isn't a foul?
Yeah, I actually hold my hands up because it's funny because I was doing stuff and I muted the commentary because I was busy doing some stuff and I literally saw the challenge and I was like, what the hell is Maguire doing? And I was writing about Conceive doing in my mind thinking like, because they're playing it back and I was thinking, oh, it's clearly a penalty. And then when I saw them kicking the ball, I was like, what's going on? Like, it's clearly, the only thing I would say, to be fair, although it wasn't as blatant as I did think that we should have had a penalty when Thiago Silva picked it up.
Yeah.
Not blatant, I agree, but, I've seen penalties given up for Thiago because obviously to his legs. So, but I agree with you. I don't really, but at the end of the day, I don't think that any team, in my opinion, in this game deserved.
Nah, deserve to win. No.
There was nothing in this game, and like I said, the only thing as a United fan, it's frustrating because we're at home. We should be winning those, and the frustrating thing is that we have the players, the personnel, to deal damage with. That's the frustrating thing as a United fan. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm thinking, I don't really get how Lampard, despite the fact that essentially this is my starting 11, we're still not playing particularly well, and we're still changing systems, and we still don't know. Like this.
So in your view, then, would you have started Cavani, or you were happy when he came on?
Let me go fix my internet. I'll be back. I need to go.
All right, okay, bro.
Because it bamboozled me that he started Daniel James. It completely bamboozled me. Who
was the striker that United? Because I don't think we were a striker.
We were Rashford. So we're playing 4-2-3-1. So played obviously Freddie McTominay. Then played Mata, Bruno, on Mata on the right, Bruno, and then Daniel James, and Bruno essentially behind Rashford. So Rashford essentially was the lone striker, though he's not a striker. But again, we're talking strikers. Mason Greenwood's on the bench. Cavani's on the bench. So I'm honest, I did not expect to see that lineup. Mata, I'm like, okay, Mata's actually been playing okay. I don't think that was unreasonable. But Daniel James, when we could have, for example, said, okay, Rashford, you go on the left where Daniel James is, and then you can put Mason Greenwood up top, or you can put Cavani up top, for example. Again, maybe Cavani, because he's not played in a while, fair enough, but Daniel James just didn't do anything.
You
And
no, because you see, I think the thing about it is that you make your lineup, or rather, you make your formation, and you can't just change your formation once your team
also,
does
Alex
that. Their
Telles wasn't
formations.
there. I don't know where.
Yeah, we'll see.
That was the biggest thing. I was like, "Where's Alex Telles?" I'm still good. If anyone in the comments knows where Alex Telles was, is he injured? Was he just left out of the squad? Because
So,
I read
so,
it.
so, so from yesterday, they say that such a weird game, very defensive. Were you surprised by how defensive and conservative the game was?
Apart,
Because you shouldn't
yeah,
be the big. Because
go
you
on.
said that Chelsea would go with a back three, so
Yeah.
therefore you should have been expecting this kind of game. Because I thought 4-3-1.
But I
I didn't
saw.
think that.
So why I said is that I said that based on the fact that I thought that he was going to match Ollie. So I thought Ollie was going to play a 3-5-2, which is still essentially a defensive formation. And I thought that Lampard was going to, like in the FA Cup final, that Lampard was just going to match Ollie and they were just going to go for it. So it wasn't. I didn't think Ollie wasn't going to play defensive. It was just that I thought they were going to match each other. But obviously, what happened? But then and then use the wing backs in Telles and Wan-Bissaka to push on forward and do the thing. But instead of doing that, we didn't really use the width in this game at all. We didn't create anything. There was no creativity in the middle either.
So then, is
Strange.
this an argument to start Pogba then, or you're happy that Pogba, or do you think Pogba should have started to give the creativity? Because again, it's like Chelsea sets up. We're like, no, we are focusing on defense right now because everything that United attacked, bro, I saw like 5-6 guys back from Chelsea. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this from Lampard. So it's like,
it just seems to be like if we're playing. I don't know what it is. Maybe Ole just thinks when we play any top team, we need to play two holding midfielders. And Fred and McTominay's holding. So if you're going to play two holding midfielders, you can't play Pogba. You can play Pogba, then Pogba doesn't have necessarily the discipline to play in that holding midfield role. So if you're going to play Pogba, he needs to essentially play where Bruno Fernandes is playing. And you can't keep Bruno Fernandes out of the team. So that's why Pogba goes to the bench. Whereas, okay, so I'm interested, for example, to see how, and we might talk about in Hangout, how we're going to go against Leipzig, because maybe he might change things. I don't think this team that you see now and the way it plays is going to play against Leipzig. I don't think that's going to be the same team. And maybe, like I said, maybe he's thinking at a stretch. Look, guys, we've got 2 games every day until the international week until the international break. I want to conserve my players. We have massive injury issues in the squad. I'm going to have to rotate a bit, use the squad depth. At a stretch, maybe that might be what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is thinking, because maybe he's thinking, yep, Cavani's going to start against Leipzig. Because if United do beat Leipzig, I personally think that we've effectively qualified already. So I don't think we're going to lose to Istanbul twice, home and away. So
with regards to,
can I ask you a question though? Like, it's been
go for it.
healthy. Like I said, this is effective. Pretty much most of the Chelsea starting 11 has played today, basically. How far can Lampard take this team as manager when you couldn't manage more than one shot on target in 90 minutes against this United side?
No.
I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I mean a kind of like.
No. Wait. I'll explain the issue to you. Is that when you have a formation, any formation, especially when you have new players coming in, you need to get used to that formation. You have to. Like you can't expect a team to play with amazing cohesiveness and chemistry with a new formation. So the thing is, this formation means that you're more defensively protected without the ball, which meant that it was very difficult for United to have space. But the thing about it is that, which is what makes a Conte or Mourinho good, is that yes, they're defensive managers, but they have a strategy of transitioning from defense to attack. So they pick the right players in the right positions and they train on the training ground of this is now how we're now going to create a chance with 3 players. So normally in an attacking team, you may have 5 options, but in a conservative option, you may not have 3 options. But we know how to economically use the ball well to create chances with the 3 options. But what you saw is these guys obviously are not used to the setup with the ball in this formation, and also because which is why you saw, like, see, for me, people say,
we didn't play a 3 against Sevilla though. That's why I'm bringing it up, because again with Sevilla, it was again a sort of like, and that was at Stamford Bridge, and again it was like, okay, we'll just kind of play for a draw, kind of sort of thing. Now, okay, again we'll play for I don't know. Is this some sort? it just seems weird.
No,
You
no,
know,
no, no. I mean,
players now.
no. Basically, my issue is I can understand. See, for me, my issue is I can understand this formation against Liverpool at Anfield, against Bayern Munich, against Bayern Munich in any place or something like that, because it's like, if you're playing against a vastly superior team, you change your formation to be more defensive and you counter them. But are Manchester United man for man a vastly superior team to Chelsea? No. So from that point of view, why do you need to go for a defensive formation against a Man United? Trust what you are most suited to and you're most comfortable with, and go against them. Because remember, you should have known that whatever for formation they choose or everything, Martial is not playing. So that's already one attacking option out of the way. So you know that you're only going to have to deal with either Rashford or a Cavani who is not really yet fully in the match fit flow. So when you realize that they don't have Martial, why don't you trust your defense and just go for a 4-2-3-1 and trust in what your guys can do inside? Because for me, Chelsea, that goal was not coming from anywhere from Chelsea. And also, I think it's 2 games now.
James, by the way,
It's it's 2 games now, 0-0. I mean, back-to-back 0-0.
You've got Havertz, you've got and Pulisic. That for me, obviously, shout out to Reece James. I think Reece James he had a very, very good game. And I think Wan-Bissaka also had a good game. Those will be my man of the match on the respective teams. But that for me is if you were a Chelsea fan, I think if you've got the likes of Pulisic, you've got Werner, you've got obviously Havertz, you've got Mason Mount, whatever, and you're not scoring goals, you're playing in this particular way. Where are they going to come from? And I don't know. It's just strange. It's just strange. I would have expected Chelsea to be a lot more. I expected Chelsea in this game to be a lot more dangerous going forward. But if I'm perfectly honest, I cannot remember David De Gea having to do anything. I cannot remember David De Gea being troubled at all in the entire.
Because I'm trying to think, did David De Gea have to make a save?
He had the BBC Six. It says Chelsea only had 1 shot on target in the 90 minutes. One
Really?
shot. Oh yeah, check the BBC statistics. If you look at the game, they had shots. They had, I think, 6 shots, but in terms of on target, they only had 1 shot on target.
Oh my god, yeah. So United had 14 shots, 4 on target, 6 shots, 1 on target. Jesus. Abdullahi.
Yeah.
So look, man, give us your. So you were happy with the performance and the formation against United?
I was happy with our resolute defense, not really the formation. I was happy with the defense because if you look at the way we were conceding goals, there were no coordination in that team at all. Because if you look at Silva and what's called Kozuma, the partnership is working very well, and that's what I want. So the way we defense was like Antonio Conte and Mourinho X when Jose was in Chelsea then. That was the resolute defense I want. Now we need the balance. We need to strike a balance and a structure from being a defensive team going on a counter-attacking team. Now we know, okay, good, we can defend this way. Now turn those defensive ability into attack because we have a very good attacker who can score goals. And Lampard, like I said, he needs to use his brain, his IQ, because in this match, I see no reason why you are bringing on Tammy Abraham. You need Olivier Giroud. There was a cross in which Reece James gave in the second half, which almost led to a goal. If it was Olivier Giroud, I can bet anything. That's a goal. That is a goal. I can bet anything. That is a goal.
Abdullahi, should you be going a bit more hard on Lampard? I mean, if this was Pep, especially what happened against West Ham, we'll talk about that later, I assume. You've got to. I'm seeing United fans, and fair enough. I'm not Ollie in or Ollie out. I just want to see United sort of go forward. But I don't like just sacking sort of.
I think I wouldn't. For me,
but don't you think Lampard is under more pressure from this game?
I think
than Ollie is.
He is because he knows if he lose that match, it's gonna be on.
No. For me, Solskjaer was under more pressure than Lampard.
I think Lampard because the amount of money we
Go-
spend.
Going into this game, you think Solskjaer's under more pressure?
Yeah.
No, I think Lampard
no.
because the amount of money we spend, Lampard needs to be doing better with that team. But I understand it because firstly, he wants to balance.
But I mean, for me, I'll say here's what someone has said you should even call this El Sac. I think both of them were quite similar because I think that Chelsea have not really yet had a quality performance yet this season. Like truly, like this is an amazing.
Except for the
start to
Crystal
finish.
Palace match, that was it.
Oh yeah, okay, maybe for the past match, but I think they've not really gotten going because I think you've gotten in so many new players, and they haven't yet gelled. And also look, this is the thing. Man, I'm sorry. People say, "Oh no, trust the process. Give them time." Sorry, this is a Premier League for football. And Abramovich, the thing about Abramovich is that you have to succeed now.
Abramovich is very
not a
stupid. He's
pro-
very stupid and mad. He's very mad. He can
In what
decide
sense?
with Lampard they are going tomorrow morning.
Of course.
That's Abramovich for you.
Of course. So wait, so Costa Austin thank you super chat says that how about Mendy? Managa Kepa is a bro.
In my entire life, if I ever see Kepa in that goal, if I see Kepa in that goal, if Lampard will not be stupid and crazy to put in Ariza Balaka.
No.
If he does
Kepa's career is finished. Kepa, his professional career at Chelsea is finished. He should not be allowed in the training complex. He should not be allowed in West London. His career is finished. Like once Kepa looks at what Mendy just did, Kepa should be like, you know what? All right, look, fine. I can't do that because Mendy has now held on his position. For me, the pecking order is Mendy, Czech, Caballero, and that's it. Nothing more. Nothing more. But so you see, so what will I mean? Even if we saw a bit of Cavani, what were your thoughts on Cavani?
I mean, he looked sharp. I think that's the thing. I mean, it's very difficult.
Sharp, but the problem, sorry for cutting you. I think the problem was when he came in. I was seeing Thiago Silva's situation position with Kozuma because of Edinson Cavani. Because you remember they played together at PSG.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, together as PSG. So there was a communication between Kozuma and Thiago Silva.
Quick! I'm gonna ask you a question. What can you can you explain to me what Mendy was doing? Like, I know you're gassing him, but like there was that one time when like he almost
He was invoking his inner Czech because Czech is coaching him. Czech said, "Look, man, you need to just do this at least once in your goalkeeping career because if you do this, it makes you a better keeper." So
that was very strange. It just went far post. It was like
but see, going back to the whole thing. See, my thing is. Okay, you play this formation, and this is the thing that just worries me with Lampard. I don't see Kai Havertz being effective at all out wide. I don't see that happening. So I don't know how that. And for me, even when you now bring on Mount and Tammy, 100% Giroud should have either started this game or at least you bring him on. At least you bring him on because they needed a striker there. Because see, for me, I'm one of those dudes that I need to see a striker. I need to have a guy who is you have your striker. I'm not a fan of the false nine. Like, I think I just like having an old school striker. Hence why I just think for me the best thing for position for Werner is putting him wide. See, it's problematic because you put Werner left, then what about Pulisic? Because Pulisic operated so well as a specific left-sided guy. And for me, I think he's far better in that position than Werner. But if you put Werner as a striker and he keeps veering off left, and especially if you are against a tough defensive team, like Werner as a striker against a tough defensive team, ineffective. There's no point. And I think in this game, I was like, as I said, one shot on target in 90 minutes. And it's one shot on target because United were very conservative, very defensive, and without Tammy Abraham or Werner, they don't have the qualities that Giroud has. In Solskjaer, all you want. Yes, he's a Class C break. Yes, he's not that great a player, but he does have his qualities. And Giroud would have occupied Maguire and so forth a lot better than Tammy and so forth. So my thing is, okay, you play this for formation. Fine, the defense looks better, but bro, you're here to win games.
Yeah, the defense is better because you're playing pre centre backs effectively.
You
So,
see, that's where I wanted to go. Are the defenders playing better, or is it just you just had a formation change? Because my thing is that Chelsea almost didn't even have to do any real defending because there was
yeah,
no space for United to even maneuver.
yeah,
And United
exactly.
were not even being creative or imaginative. But my thing
Yeah.
is that you have to have a balance. So now you have so many guys far back. You're losing. Basically, the statistics show it. You have so many guys far back, but it's one shot on target in 90 minutes. So yay, clean sheet.
Yeah.
But you've not scored a goal in 2 games now.
I mean, if
So
I'm looking at the table, I think so. I mean, okay, yes, United are what 15-5 with 7 games that we have a game in hand. Chelsea 6 games, got 9. Got 9 points. Are 6 now. I don't. The Premier League table looks weird anyway because there's 3 points between 15th and like 3rd, so it's not something to rely on. But 7 points from 5 games, 9 points from 6 games. It's still difficult to judge. I think Lampard or Ole, just because there is still more football to play, and like I said, there's only 3 or 2 points in it between second or third, etc. But
wait, and what's it called? Guys, sending questions, sending questions for us to answer, sending those questions. See, my thing is that look,
what? Quick question, Age. Kante. I don't think Kante had a good game today. I'm seeing if he comes to chat as well, but Kante didn't look.
We discussed this in the preview about how Kante is tired.
Yeah.
And this is the time where his legs are gone. He needs to be in the DM position. And here's the thing. In this formation, there's no point in Kante being a DM.
Yeah.
Because you have so many guys far back.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in a 4-3-3 or in a 4-2-3-1, it would be great for Kante to be in that kind of DM position, protecting the defense. Hence why, if you went with a 4-2-3-1 and see your Kante, basically play like Busquets. You play the Busquets role because like Busquets hardly ever goes past the halfway line and he's just there to protect the defense and to unleash the ball. If you had that, so Kante's not the protective guy to give that extra protection, it allows you to now really attack and cause them some issues because again,
penalty for Sheffield United.
this is against
Liverpool.
Oh wow. Liverpool, man. Oh god. Look, this has been a wild league, man. This has been like, but my thing though is that that's the thing is like yes, it's weird. Yes, the defense looks good, but at the sacrifice of what? So are Chelsea now going to just go ahead with like 0-0-0-0? Yeah.
But it's the man of the teams because, like I said, like the conservative approach. I mean, you played Sevilla and you played. Okay, people can cuss Oliver, but we were away to PSG, so it's like fair enough. I understand that. I expect us to be a bit more attacking in this game, but I understand that with our home record and with Chelsea and the amount of games we have and the big games we have, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably thinking, listen, you know what? If we just can get through this period of Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal, Everton back-to-back and get some points on the board, after that, it's pretty much clean sailing because our fixtures after that are pretty easy.
See, here's my thing. Is like, say, Veron should be benched for Pulisic. A left wing, Giroud should start. See, my thing is that...
Long Shane Long.
but look, bro, it's like... Venus, he was quality against what I think is it Southampton, I think, where he scored 2 goals. But my thing though is, as I said again, the issue with Chelsea wasn't necessarily the attack. Yes, you need to improve on everything. The issue was the defense. So get a keeper, get a defender, get a left back. But Pulisic is quality in the left side position. Now, if you want to bring in a Werner or you bring in a Havertz, you have your number 10. Basically, the 4-2-3-1 is there to play because if you had 4-2-3-1 here, you have somebody because who was creating?
Yeah.
Because it's difficult for Havertz to create if he's flipping out wide on the wing.
Yeah.
So every time Chelsea had the ball, I'm like, this is just pass. Like, basically, the quality of the game was so bad. Let's just be real. Because what's eliminated for me is going from El Clasico to this.
Yeah.
Because when you saw El Clasico, it's nice intricate passes and nice triangles.
I mean, a lot of people didn't watch the game who think that in the PSG game, all Manchester United did was just sit back and counterattack. No, go and watch the PSG game. Manchester United just didn't do that. Like, and if you look at the statistics, possession, for example, was actually 60%, 40% United. Like, especially when Pogba came on, we went into a diamond and we had a lot more control of the midfield in the last 20 minutes. You know, if you put that game alongside this game, we were way more defensive in this game than we were against PSG. Way more defensive.
But why is that? That doesn't make sense. How are you more defensive in this game than against PSG when Chelsea are the inferior team?
Exactly. That's what isn't. I mean, like I said, in that game, at the very least, we're playing with like.
So,
we were losing our win back.
So, wait. So, what formation or what changes would you have made to what Solskjaer put out there?
I would have gone with the formation we played against Paris. I would have gone with the 3-5-2. So I put, like I said, so I would put Telles. So I don't know. Maybe Telles is injured. I don't know. Maybe he's I don't know. But I would have started Telles, and then I would have then had Cavani and Rashford up top. So now suddenly you've got someone like Telles who can push forward.
And what about Daniel James?
Is that a joke?
Look, man, shout out to the white Usain Bolt, man. Shout out to the white Usain Bolt.
Right, it's just bad. It's the Welsh, you know. It's just, what you can even like Welsh BTAC, you know, like Callum Robson Kanu. You know, he's a BTAC Robson Kanu, Daniel James, man. He's just not. But yeah, that's what. You know, so in my mind, I was thinking Telles, great, Cavani there, whip balls into the box, Cavani onto them. You know, that'll cause Chelsea a lot of problems. And I know Wan-Bissaka will be able to deal with Pulisic and thing on the right, which, to be fair, for most of the game, he did. He dealt with him fine. Instead, we get Daniel James on that side. So, but we didn't lose. But yeah, let's be real. Are any of these teams actually going to win the Premier League this season?
No, hell no.
Unless Sheffield can do us the favour and beat this Liverpool side.
See, but my thing is that for Lampard is like, I'm not sure that I'm confident with Lampard tinkering with the formation, because I'm like, you're new to management and you're new to coaching. And I think if you're new to coaching, especially when you're in the Premier League, pick your formation, pick your lineup, stick to it, and make sure that guys know this formation and lineup back to front. Now, and I said only change your formation if you're facing a really tough team where you now have to go the defensive. But for me, my thing is like, it's Man United and it's no Martial. Why would you not go with a 4-3-1 and be brave? Because it's not like if Old Trafford is a fortress and it's difficult to go to. Crystal Palace beat them at Old Trafford and everything. So, because my thing is like,
do you think that he expected, like I said, maybe Lampard expected Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to match this formation, to play a back three again? Maybe expected likes of Pogba and Van der Beek and what have you to come on, or Telles, etc. I don't think that Lampard expected Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to set up in the way that he set up. Maybe that's the only reason. Otherwise, if he knew that we're playing a 4-2-3-1, I would have thought that he would have played a back four as well.
I mean, no, but my thinking is, I don't think he was even thinking about what Solskjaer was doing. My thinking was, he's like, okay, it's Manchester. You know, my thinking is, I've lost to him, 2-3 times? A few times. He's got in the 3 times. He got in the better of me. I need to change my formation. I need to be more the defensive. I'm thinking, but my thing is still, it's like, it was so conservative, and you could see that the players were so uncomfortable in that formation. So, see, guys are saying in the live chat that, Werner and Havertz are out of form. The formation didn't help them. You know, you could see that they were. So it's hard for me to judge them so hard because.
But then did you not play a 4-3-3? I mean, I didn't watch the Chelsea for the reason that it was also similarly boring from what I heard. But did you not play that formation against Sevilla?
Oh, not this. No, we didn't play this formation against Sevilla. No.
Oh yes, you played a 4 at the back of 4-3-3.
Yeah.
That was my original point, was that they did like it's. I didn't watch the Chelsea Sevilla game hands up, but it sounds like it was also quite a bit of a boring game. So
I think basically the Sevilla game was. Chelsea were definitely a lot more attacking, but Sevilla were very good defensively. Chelsea just couldn't break severe. Then I think, and the problem is there is a lack of ideas.
Okay.
There is a lack of ideas in this team, and which is why I say that. Because the issue is Ziyech is not match fit.
Okay.
Pulisic's really getting back into fitness. So both of the wide men are not really popping off yet.
Okay.
And after the restart,
Then what I would say,
Willian was a good, consistent performer, and Pulisic did what he did. So,
but you have, I mean, the only thing I would say to that is that, like, you have obviously this Tammy Abraham's obviously there, Giroud's there, Callum Hudson-Odoi is there. So if they're not on form, then why not bring on Cho? Why not bring on, like I said, a Giroud, for example, who can maybe do a bit of damage? It just seems a bit. I don't know. It's. I don't know.
So Seth said that RDS will be fine. We have a game in hand. So are you concerned with this performance and this results at home? Didn't really look attacking and everything, or is like,
The thing is,
you're up against a defensive Chelsea team.
It's difficult to know because you don't know who's playing. Because based on who played, you're like, I mean, this was effectively United's. If we're talking about talents, this was United's B team. Effectively, it was because half of these players were out of the. If since Bruno Fernandes came, right, most of these players that are playing today weren't playing. Freddie McTominay weren't playing.
This is actually worrying because, as you said, so no Tejas, Pogba wasn't there,
Van der Beek wasn't there,
wasn't there, no Martial
wasn't there, Greenwood wasn't playing, Matic, who was in on that thing, wasn't playing. So half of this squad.
You see, now it's not beginning to really. Now I'm actually gonna get slightly pissed off.
Okay.
Because my thing is that wait a minute, what threats were Man United posing that Chelsea needed to have every man, woman, and child in defense? That's why the game was so fucked up.
Yeah.
The game was so fucked up because it was like United. Rashford was the only true threat.
Yeah.
So you have 5 guys defending pretty much Rashford.
Yeah.
So
that was it.
like,
and it's not like Rashford is like the expert clinical sort of. Yeah, I mean, he's got a good week. So, but
what the hell?
For me, looking at this game, I'm like, okay, if against Leipzig he plays Cavani, Telles, Pogba, Van der Beek, etc., then it's like, oh, okay, cool, it's fine. But this formation, this team, you're like, I don't know how to respond to it because based on the quality of this team, you're like, it's actually a good point because half of this squad is essentially United's B team. They weren't playing. Mata wasn't playing. Fred wasn't playing. McTominay wasn't playing. Daniel James wasn't playing. And
so no Martial, VDB, Greenwood, Matic, Pogba, Tejas, Cavani, and Chelsea were still scared.
And this is obviously, as I was saying, Chelsea's, aside from Ziyech, this is arguably supposed to be Chelsea's best 11. So is this coming from the manager saying that you guys need to be worried?
No. I think for this maybe makes me feel that Lampard is like, it was more so I don't want to lose, and maybe he's fearful because it has to be fear.
Okay.
Because going into the games now, you don't know whether he's going to play McTominay or anything, but going into the game that Martial is unavailable.
Yeah.
So with the fact that Martial is unavailable, that already says, you know what, 4-3-1. Let's go out and attack them and go out and create, because we know that we can against them. Not like if these guys are impenetrable, we can go out there and really say something against them. So because yes, the defense looks good, and see, let's go to our points again. How much should we praise the defense?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
If this wasn't United's best attack,
it wasn't like
these guys Chelsea defending.
It wasn't like, I can praise the United defense with Twansebe Wan-Bissaka going against peak Mbappe and Neymar. Awesome, great. You're going against Daniel James and Mata. Mata's who's slow, Daniel James who's clueless, and Rashford whose finishing isn't top notch. So I know Abdullah's point was, solid defensive performance. Like, but
I know. No, sorry. I mean, sorry. I'm not praising you for defending Daniel James. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
You know, how are you going to defend against? Because Liverpool haven't played Chelsea, have they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, Chelsea like Christensen got sent off. Liverpool won.
Oh, yeah,
1-0,
okay, right.
2-0, yeah.
It
Yeah,
didn't work.
Liverpool won 2. Yeah, it was 2-0, 2-0. Yeah.
You know, against better wingers and better forwards. You know, although I don't know how Chelsea will deal with them. That's my thing.
So as the bun said, meanwhile, Bayern win 5-0 against Scary. Bayern are just a cheat code, man. Like these guys, but they'll slow down. They will slow down. They can't keep this up for the rest of the season. So, so guys, let's send a few questions. So last 5-10 minutes before we jump out of here, man.
You were saying Sheffield are battering Liverpool. I still think it's 1-0, but I mean this league. If Sheffield beat Liverpool, man, this league is messed up. If Sheffield beat Liverpool, like City drop points to West Ham, United and Chelsea drop to a boring draw, and Liverpool.
And do you know what? We're not, because we may discuss it later on tonight. Yeah, I really believe that we may be in for a weird Premier League and I think it's because of COVID.
Yeah.
I think due to COVID and everything, I just think that it may have affected the kind of status quo of thing.
Might be Arsenal time again. Maybe Arsenal might win the Premier League, you know? So it'll be
nah, man.
I hope not, because if they do, man, I think both of us are gonna have to go into hiding.
So Zuma was definitely considering a penalty if Martial. See, that's my scary thing. Like because how many surely it must be 90% of United's penalties is a foul on Martial.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Others would be either Rashford or Bruno Fernandes.
But most of the time, whenever I look, it's always like Martial just gets tackled or hacked in the leg or something like that.
Yeah. That's why we didn't win. You know, I was wondering something was missing. No penalty and no Martial. So this is the thing.
No, because if he had given a penalty for that foul that Thiago did on thinking, I'd be like, man, that's just messed up, bro.
Yeah.
That's just messed up. So say Ole Gunnar freestyle is a tactical brick. Once in blue moon, he gets it right. So tactically, if you're being objective, Ole, good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Well, for today, I mean today's performance.
In general.
Like I said, Adrian, I don't know what to think right now because we have the play.
It's PSG.
Yeah, PSG. You know, so we obviously had a good convincing win away. It seems that our away form is good, so we seem to be a lot better playing away from home. We obviously had a good win against Newcastle, which we dominated, and obviously PSG. So I'm not going to stand here and say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's not the best coach. There are better coaches out there. I'm sure Poch is better, etc. But I don't think for me he's done enough to say, right, okay, you sack him now based on his performance, is what I'm saying. You know, like, especially given that he wasn't backed in the summer and we still have yet to see some of the quality that we have. I want to see what Alex Telles brings. I want to see what Cavani brings. I want to see what hopefully Van der Beek will bring before I make my assessment. Whereas I feel like with Lampard, he's got his 11 on the field there. The 11 that's there, it's there. So now it's a question of, it's now on him to be like, right, how are you going to set these players up? How are they going to perform, etc., etc. Obviously being backed. And at the end of the day, like we just sort of said, you know, Chelsea's defense, they kept it away from you. We're playing against Daniel James and Mata. You know what I mean?
I don't know how highly you can judge that when you've not been tested.
The other thing as well is it's also I would like to judge things based on the context of the league as well. So you know, it's also how every league is different. So even just this week, you're like, right, okay, City drew against West Ham, and I looked at Pep Guardiola's tactics and I'm like, it makes no sense. Makes no sense at all, you know. So obviously Pep Guardiola is a good manager. We'll see what happens to Liverpool. So the point I guess I'm trying to make is that, like, if you just isolate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's performance, okay, fair enough. But like, take it into the context of the whole league. You know, most of the managers right now are displaying brick tactics and brick management, and it's just the nature of the Premier League right now. You know, if that makes any sense, you know. So
So I mean, so look, so just to sort of round off, man, I think look, crap game, not the greatest game,
Nah.
not the game I was expecting. I was expecting much more of an open game with a lot more chances. But I think, you know, as I said again, it's two managers who are fearful of results and more so didn't really want to lose the game. So they sort of cancelled each other out. But I think if there's any team that were for me, it's weird. Like Chelsea in the first half seemed like the better team, but weren't really doing anything. But I think if we're looking at the whole 90 minutes, United looks more likely to win the game and more likely to score. So Chelsea were definitely good defensively, but I'm worried about that attack, man. Guys, peace out, peace out, peace out. Red Devil, thank you for being part of this whole thing, man. And I'll see you guys. It's around. Peace out, guys. Peace. Peace. Thanks for watching the vid, and remember to head to the official website for the latest on my blog, rankings, breaks, and the Hall of Fame on halfoffootballhot.com.